Good morning, friends. Modi ji has become Prime Minister of India for the third time continuously. And he has brought regular budget of India, of the central government, on 23rd of July, claiming that this budget is going to lay down the roadmap for making India a developed nation by 2047. That means whatever policies are being propagated through this budget, they are going to continue and they are going to propel India in the League of Developed Nations. Since this claim is very significant claim, it needs to be examined. That means the central budget for the year 2024-25 needs to be examined critically in reference to whatever goal it has claimed that it will achieve. Friend, through today's video, I am going to discuss three important aspects related to this budget. The first thing, what is the current status of India in respect to various developmental parameters, and what are related challenges which this nation is facing. Second thing, I am going to discuss what is content of this budget in terms of allocation and policies. And third and the most important, I am going to review this budget in the light of whatever challenges I will discuss in the first part, and what is my opinion about this budget and about the policy which government is going to adopt. Therefore, may I request you that please see this video to the end so that you can know how far this budget will act on the goal it has stated. Please don't misunderstand that this video is relevant only for India. There are more than 100 countries which are facing problems similar to India. And they all can get a lot of learning out of the policies which government of India is going to adopt, or my comment on that. Therefore, I believe that this video is useful for citizens of every country to some extent. Friend, I am Ramchandra and you are watching Prayas, a channel which is fully dedicated for development of your personality. Friend, before I start discussion on this very important topic which affects our life, day-to-day life, let me share some important thing with you. Friend, if you want to attend my live sessions, please go to description box. You will get two links there. The first link is for free webinar and another link is for suggestion for free webinar. If a subject of your choice is already scheduled, please register yourself. I will invite you. And if it has not been scheduled, because of my preoccupation or whatever, please suggest a topic and other things. I will shortly schedule a webinar for you and invite you. The second thing, if you are really interested in the area of personality development, in which I am working currently. Please join our discussion forum called Prayas Vichar Manch. A link is there, just click it. Give your details and willingness. I will let you join it and invite you whenever some discussion takes place. Third thing, friend, I personally believe and strongly believe that unless our thoughts, belief system, life values are not positive, are not growth oriented, we cannot take right action. And unless we take right action, we cannot achieve excellence in whatever we do and will not be satisfied. Therefore, with the objective to bring transformational change in our belief and action, I am directing a personality development program which is titled Prayas Foundation Course. It has got 5 modules separately for students, working professionals, entrepreneurs, government officials, and retired people. If you want to know the basic structure of this course, there is a link provided. Just click it, understand the basic scheme. But if you want to understand individual modules, you can visit our website. All details are available there. You can check, understand, and if you have any doubt, you can contact me through email or through. And last but not the least, India is a poor country. There are several poor countries in the world. I don't want that poorest of the poor should also be deprived of this program. And since this program is totally digital, anybody can join from anywhere. For that, I have made a special review order and I want your assistance. I don't want any financial assistance from you. I simply want that if you have got more than 1 hour time free, after doing all your activities, current activities, please donate that time to me. And sitting at your home, wherever you are located, please work as our activity partner through your mobile phone itself and conduct this course on my behalf, under my guidance, under my training. And I assure you some moderate income also out of it. Friend, I am sure that you are going to click those links given in the description box and decide to join me in some fashion to support me. Now friend, now let us discuss the topic of today, which is very relevant not only for India, for all other countries which are having profile similar to India in reference to their challenges and problems. Now friend, first thing, what is the status of India today? I am sure that you are going to relate to your country also. The first thing, what is per capita income differential in India? If I take, for example, Sikkim is a small state of India. Per capita income of Sikkim is 5.20 lakhs crore. But if I take another state of India which is very backward but much bigger than Sikkim, that is called Bihar, its per capita income is only 84,000 crore rupees. Can you imagine the differential in this? Now let us take second parameter of industrialization. I will only take example of two nearby state of India. UP has got more than 17 lakhs small scale industries which are giving employment. But adjoining its sister state, Bihar, has got hardly 7 lakh you can imagine, sorry, they know not 7 lakh, even 5.15 lakhs. This is the difference in two states in reference of industrialization at the micro level. I'm not talking of big factories. Coming to state GDP, gross domestic product of various states of India. There also there is a wide difference. If you take Maharashtra, its GDP exceeds 40 lakhs crore. And if you take Bihar on the contrary, it is 9.77 lakh crore. The differential is more than 4 times. If I talk of micro level around income differential, 1% top population of India owns 53% property and wealth. And the bottom 50% not even owns 4%. So this is the type of income distribution differential in India. So this is so far economic disparity is concerned, whether it is at the individual income level, regional level, or whatever level, which is a very big challenge. Now coming to the literacy part, unless the citizens are capable, they cannot achieve anything, and unless they contribute, GDP will not grow, the country will not grow. If I talk of literacy, friend, Kerala is the most literate state of India. Its literacy rate is in excess of 96%. I am not giving you exact figure because this is not a class of statistics. So the literacy of Kerala exceeds 96%. But its adjoining state, Andhra Pradesh, has got literacy of only 66%. So in one state, only 4% people are illiterate. In another state, 1/3 people are illiterate. So this is the status of literacy. Of course, public education system is not delivering at all. It has become totally ineffective. But at the grassroots level, literacy is one thing which everybody should possess. Now, coming to health parameter. Health is another indicator of happiness of a country. Now I take first parameter, infant mortality rate. That means per thousand live birth, how many children die. Now, if I take Mizoram is a very small state of Northeast India. Here this death rate is only 3. That means out of 1,000, only 3 children die. But if you take Madhya Pradesh, that is MP, which is heart of India, much bigger state, this rate is 43. Can you believe? 3 and 43. This is the differential in case of health parameter. Now, the second parameter, population control, birth rate. That means on average, a woman, how many births she can give in her lifetime. This figure is 3 for Bihar. Please remember, the replacement figure is 2.1. It is much excess of that in Bihar. But if you take J and K, which is much smaller state, it is only 1.4. So there is a very big difference here in fertility rate also across the country. Now the third parameter of health is average life expectancy. Now, friend, Delhi is a very small union territory or state of India. Now it has given a status of a state. It has got state assembly. The average life expectancy in Delhi is 75.8. That you can say nearly it is 76 years. But if you take Chhattisgarh, which is a backward state which was made out of Madhya Pradesh, this is only 65. So on one hand, one state this expectancy is 65, another state it is 76. The difference of almost 11 years. So this is so far health parameters are concerned. I'm not giving a lot of statistics to you to confuse. Now coming to the economic parameter. Communication. If I talk of tele-density, Delhi has got tele-density of 280 per 100 persons. That means per person average connection is 2.8. But if you go to Bihar, it is hardly 57 per 100. That means around half. Now, if I talk of even ecology, if I see the forest land in various states of India, there also it is a very widespread difference here. For example, if you take Mizoram, in Mizoram, 84% of the land is forested. But if you take Haryana, it is 3.6%. Now, one thing more I want to share with you. In India also, the differential in the salary of chief executive officer and the average salary of down staff has become just like Western countries. For example, I am taking only two examples. The CEO of Wipro draws almost 82 crore rupees per year. Its average salary of staff is 9 lakh. So it is more than 900 times. Now, if you take Hero, the CEO of Hero draws a annual salary of 99 crore rupees per year. But average average salary of his staff and managers are 12 lakhs. So he is also drawing above 800 times. But if you compare it with the Western country, the CEO of Blackstone is drawing 1988 crore rupees per year. But its average salary of the staff is 1.96 crore. So here also the ratio is more than 1,000. So we are comparing in salary difference here of chief executive officer and the staff. Of course, this is applicable to only private sector, corporate sector. Government sector, this is not so. In government sector, it is hardly 10. The difference of the top and the bottom is only 10. But in private sector, this is the type of salary difference. Now, friend, if I want to draw the conclusion about challenges which India as a nation is facing, the first thing it is facing is increasing unemployment and hidden underemployment in so many sectors. And because of this type of phenomena, the economic disparity is increasing very fast. And technology is playing a very big role in this. For example, AI has come, it is eating away so many routine jobs, creating large scale, unemployment possibility in future. But the type of job AI is going to generate are very high-end job, very few people will get it. But the number of jobs it is going to take away are massive. Now, the problem is that in India, 60% population is below age of 35. And Government of India has recognized that more than 50% youth which come out of education system, whether college, university, etc., does not possess necessary skill so that they can be employed. And this is the state, opinion of employers also. So there is a huge capability and skill gap in the Indian population, youth population. This is very big challenge. And the root cause is a totally useless, ineffective, clerk-making educational system, which was established in India by Lord Macaulay to make Indian slave. He wanted that people who should come out of this system should be mentally slave. They should not stand up to anybody else. The next problem in India is health service is also very bad. Public health. If you go to public hospital, government hospital, neither there are doctor nor medicines, or not very cleanliness. But if you go to private hospitals, they are very costly, you can't afford it. Now the next problem in India is abnormal delay in getting justice. If I file a case today, I may not get judgment in 10 years, 20 years, I don't know how much time it is going to take. It is very costly process, very time consuming, very costly. A common man cannot afford it. And India is facing external, internal security problems. Everybody aware that China and Pakistan, both our neighbors, have teamed together and troubling India on all possible counts. Of course, we are going to maintain peace on the border, but problem is there. There are several internal security issues in India being generated by various terrorist groups, whether they are religious groups or they are leftist groups or they are Khalistan type. So there are so many groups in India which are creating problem for the Indian state. So friends, these are certain very important problems which India is facing today. So whatever budget is going to do should address these issues squarely face in face. Is it going to do that? Let us see that. If we see the central government budget 2024-25, which was presented to Parliament on 23rd of July, we will notice certain important things in this budget. Now I am going to present before you the content of budget in three parts. The first part is statistical, that is how much money has been allocated under major heads. I am not going to discuss in detail, but broadly I am going to give you some figures of this budget. Then I am going to discuss with you 9 focus areas, thrust areas, which government has identified to be executed through this budget, which are going to set the future course of action. And the third part I am going to discuss micro initiatives which this budget is suggesting to take India to the League of Developed Nations by 2047. Now, friend, let us see the broad contour of this budget. Friend, the total allocation, total size of budget is 48.20 lakhs crore, which is about 9% above last year size of the budget. If I deduct inflation rate, hardly the increase can be 3%. Therefore, I can conclude safely that the physical output of this budget on the gross level will be similar to what it was last year, provided we follow same method, same allocation. Of course, there will be sectorial change, but overall the output, physical output will be similar because whatever increase is given will be mostly offset by inflation. The most important thing of this budget is that it has allocated 11.11 lakh crore for capital expenditure for asset creation. And bulk of the work is going to be done in the sector of roads. So Ministry of Road Transport, Highway has got the maximum chunk out of this capital expenditure, that is 2.78 lakhs crore. And out of this, its flag organization NHAI is going to get 1.68 lakh crore, because they are going to execute various highway projects, etc., etc. So this is number one. At the second number comes Indian Railway, the most prominent mode of transport in India, of mass transport, I will say. It has been allocated 2.55 lakhs crore this year. And then after that, there are other ministries who have been allotted money out of this capital expenditure budget, but I am not going to discuss those. Now, coming to revenue expenditure, it is almost 31 lakhs crore. No, 31 is the receipt. It is almost 37 or 38 lakhs crore. Out of that, about 31 lakh crore is going to come from various revenue receipts. That means there is a gap of 5.8 lakhs crore under revenue side. That means we are not able to meet revenue expenditure part of the budget out of revenue receipts. To my mind, this is a very serious concern. Of course, it has been there all along in the past also. But since this budget is aiming at making India a developed nation by 2047, we have to work on this particular thing and ensure that the revenue deficit should be zero. Every nation should manage its finances in a fashion that revenue receipts are able to take care of revenue expenditure. Of course, I can understand the physical deficit, which is also in the excess of 16 lakhs crore, but not the revenue deficit. Friend, I am going to discuss in this video how this revenue deficit can be eliminated by prudent action on the part of government. Now, friend, having said so, let us have a very quick look on some sectorial allocation which this budget is given. As I told you that India is facing national security problems, external, internal. So the Ministry of Defense has been allotted 6.22 lakhs crore rupees. Out of that, 1.72 is on capital account for purchase of weapons, etc., etc. I can tell you one thing: no ministry, no activities would be sacrosanct. It needs to be reviewed critically and seen that whether it is required or not. If required, how much? Now the second ministry has got allocation is Ministry of Home Affairs. It has got 2.19 lakhs crore because it is handling various security organizations like BSF, CISF, etc., etc., who are taking care of internal security. So this is also very important, 2.19 lakhs crore. Of course, Government of India has given lot of emphasis on rural development lately. So on this there is allocation of 2.66 lakh crore. The next important ministry for us is agriculture. You know that 45% people in India are dependent on agriculture. They are engaged in agriculture. Of course, its share in GDP is only 18%, but 45% people are engaged. So, this is also very important. Here, the budget allocates 1.52 lakh crore. So these are major allocations to ministries. If I talk of micro level allocation, I will only waste your time and my time. But I can assure you that money has been given for Prime Minister Awas Yojana, 30,170 crore. Then employment scheme Manrega has been given 86,000 crore. Metro development is taking place. It has been given 21,336 crore. Amrit Mission has been given 8,000 crore. Then PM E-Bus Yojana, 1,300 crore. Swachh Bharat Mission 500 crore, 5,000 crore. So this type of allocation is there. But one very important thing I want to tell you. 4.28 lakhs crore is allotted for giving various type of subsidies, which is very important. So friend, this is the type of allocation. Now, tribal development also 13,000 crore has been given. Out of that, 6,300 crore is only for Ekalavya model schools. Then states are being given interest-free loans for developing infrastructure in their areas. 1.5 lakh crore is allotted for that. India is going digital in a big way. So urban digital mission has been given 1,150 crore. Tourism in other area which are focusing 2,479 lakh crore. So this type of allocation is there. But I want to discuss one more thing with you before I switch over to the focus areas, that there has been a drastic change in the structure of tax receipts, taxation. Friend, if I review last 20 years period, that is 2004 to 2024, the tax receipt or overall receipt which was 3 lakh crore has gone up to 38 lakh crore. This is the type of jump we have taken. Coming to the direct taxes, its share in 2004 was 43%, now its share is 57%. But the whole increase has been funded by income tax, personal tax, which was having only 16% share in 2004, now it is 30%, almost double. Corporate tax share has stabilized around 27%. No much difference. Of course, I cannot compare GST because earlier it was not there. Now it has been introduced with merger of certain taxes. But the share of excise and custom has gone down. So this is the broadly sectorial change in the taxation. Now, this is so far figures are concerned. But I am concerned. Central government is spending 48 lakhs crore. It is transferring more than 22 lakhs crore to states out of this budget. If I consider this transfer and consider individual state budgets and total those budget with central government budget, it comes to around 100 lakh crore. So this much money, governments are spending in the country. Besides this expenditure, private sector is spending money. It can be also around 100 lakhs crore. That means in a particular year, we are, as a country, spending 200 lakh crore. And what is our GDP, by the way? Our GDP is 293 lakhs crore. So it is not even 50% more than what we are incurring. What it indicates? It indicates low productivity of capital, low capital efficiency, whether revenue or capital. The second issue which needs consideration is debt to GDP ratio. Presently we have got 80%. This ratio is 80%. That means 80% of 293 crore is in form of debt, on which we are servicing interest to the extent of almost 24% of the budget. Of course, in 2020 it was 89%, now it is 80%. I hope that Government of India will work on it and try to reduce this ratio by increasing capital productivity. So, having discussed financials of this budget, let me move to the 9 focus area which this budget has indicated. Friend, the first and foremost area is agriculture. I told you 45% people are dependent on this. So government has selected agriculture as a focus area, where it is going to modernize, bring so many schemes. I am not going to detail at this stage. Second, first area of government is in this budget is skill development. Because I told you 50% of the youth are not having necessary skills so that they can get job or do something on their own. So government is going to do a lot of things in this apprentice scheme and so many things I am going to discuss later on. The third area is MSME, medium, small and micro units. Their contribution in GDP is almost 29% or 30% you can say. But export share is 50%. And there are almost 2.7 crore MSME in India. Out of that, more than 1 crore are small scale. And they are providing employment to more than 20 crore people. So it is a very significant sector from the employment generation point of view. So government is going to focus on this and bringing so many schemes which I am going to discuss later on. The next area of importance is urban development, because government is thinking that there will be large scale migration from rural to urban areas in search of job and profession, etc. So cities should be made livable. They should be made smart. Of course, there are several problems I am going to discuss later on, but these were focus areas. The next important area is innovation and research. Government has recognized the importance of innovation research and has provided lot of schemes and initiatives in these areas. Then the next area of focus in this budget is energy security. Now, we are going to increase the share of renewables significantly and reduce greenhouse gases by 1/3, 33%. This is in 5 years. So this is our target in this. Now, the next I am going to discuss the focus area is economic reform policy framework. Government is going to create a blueprint for economic reform, next generation reform, in a systematic manner and trying to improve productivity of various factors of production so that it can increase the productivity of capital. Of course, the next area is infrastructure. As you may be aware, if you see the budget of Government of India in last 3 years, there has been a continuous high allocation to infrastructure, especially road, rail and others. And last but not the least, human resource development and social justice. So friend, these are 9 focus areas which this budget has identified, and all are geared towards creating jobs. Now, let us discuss micro level initiatives which this budget has identified and has provided funds for them. Friend, if we see the micro level initiatives contained in this budget, the first very important initiative is that government has planned to provide 4.10 crore jobs in coming 5 years, and they are going to spend 2 lakhs crore rupees on this through various areas. The second initiative is to construct 3 crore dwelling units under PM Awas Yojana, both in urban and rural areas. Now the third initiative is that 1 crore youth will be working as an intern in 500 reputed companies in coming 5 years. That means 20 lakhs youth per year. Their skill will be developed through apprentice program so that they can get job there itself or elsewhere. Of course, government will give 5,000 rupees stipend per month and one time grant also. So this is the third initiative. Now, the fourth initiative is upgrading 1,000 ITIs, industrial training institutes, on which Total budget allocation is going to be 60,000 crore rupees. Out of that, 30% will be given by center, 20,000 crore will be given by states, and 10,000 crore will be funded through CSR, so that people can be trained there, various skills can be developed, which can encourage them to undertake self-employment or job. 5 trainers training institutes will be developed of national repute to train the trainers. The next initiative is the amount of loan has been increased from 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs per beneficiary under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana with a interest subsidy of 3%. So this is another initiative which this budget has provided. Now they are going to develop in the area of agriculture 109 crops which are climate resistant, so that they can withstand the negative impact of climate change and productivity may not go down drastically. The next initiative is 1 crore farmers will be motivated to opt for organic farming. But here there is a problem. Government is giving fertilizer subsidy to the extent of 1.64 lakh crore, which is budgeted under Ministry of Petroleum and Chemicals. Fertilizers. So on one hand you are giving heavy subsidy for use of fertilizer. On the other hand you are trying to promote people for organic farming. I hope there will be a gradual shift towards organic farming and significant reduction in subsidies. And the subsidies should be budgeted under Ministry of Agriculture, not under Ministry of Fertilizer, for direct control. One thing more I want to add here, that the productivity of this chemical fertilizer has gone down very drastically. Earlier it was 10:1, now it is 2:1. So it is only degrading the soil, reducing its fertility. So we have to go back to the organic farming to enrich the soil and its productivity in an organic manner. Of course, government is promoting production of oil seed and pulses, which we have to import so that we become self-reliant on this. But the budget allotted for this purpose, organic farming, is very insignificant. It needs to be increased. Now the next initiative is Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana, under which 25,000 villages are going to be connected with all-weather roads, provided the population of each village is more than 100. Now, in order to improve the credit flow to the agriculture sector, 2 lakhs agricultural credit societies have to be formed. The next thing is that vegetable production clusters would be organized around the consumption centers, that is where the demand. They are going to generate a lot of revenue and jobs for the farmers. I have already discussed Ekalabya model schools. They are going to be established under the tribal development program. Now, I told that urban development is also a focus area. Here government has planned that 14 cities where the population exceeds 30 lakhs will be developed in a smart fashion so that they become livable. Now the next initiative is very important initiative that government is going to develop plug and play industrial parks. Each industrial park will be dedicated to a particular product and all logistic support will be available in the park where people can just come and start production. There will be all connectivity available. And residential accommodation for industrial workers will also be planned in these parks so that they can live there, work there. Now, of course, there is a scheme of PM e-bus, but it is very sluggish in progress. The tender floated to utilize fund of last year budget is still not finalized. So we have to be serious. I have come with a video which is going to come shortly. That we are, facing extreme heat, pollution, and all climate change conditions because of pollution generated by transport. If public transport is made efficient and strong, effective, the private transport will reduce and the resultant pollution will be also less. So we have to be very serious about public transport, whether it is roadways or it is railways or it is waterways. Now next, energy sector. Government has decided to encourage small nuclear power plants. And therefore it has reduced custom duties on various inputs which are related to that is nickel, cobalt, lithium, etc. etc. Now, another very significant development is that credit guarantee scheme limit has gone to 100 crore for the SME, MSME. Of course, one has to give some initial fee and then recurring annual fee depending upon reducing balances of your credit. Now, government is going to develop Bhu Aadhaar. That means it is going to give unique ID to each land parcel, whether it is urban area or rural area, so that fraud in land transaction can be minimized or reduced. Next initiative is tourism. Government has realized that a corridor which was created in Kashi Vishwanath in Varanasi has generated multiple tourism, population. Their number has increased drastically. The economy of Varanasi has got a boost because of that. So they are going to plan similar corridor and other things at other important religious places. But I have a different suggestion to make that. Please identify a place as a tourist place, whether religious or natural, and give a holistic integrated ecosystem which will generate a lot of jobs and revenue also. Now, there is a scheme to develop craftsmen, artisans, and self-help group in tribals so that they can generate better income through their arts. Now, MSME can also avail the facility of releasing their working capital requirement up to 250 crore rupees under online platform system. There can be become more, liquidity can be better. Now, certain initiatives are being taken in this budget to arrest black money, to reduce incidence of black money. The first thing is providing immunity to the benamidar under prohibition of benami properties, provided the benamidar reveals all information about the beneficiary owner, that is the real owner, in all respect without any concealment. Because, friend, the fact is that all these benamidars are poor people, drivers, PN, etc., etc. They should not be punished unnecessarily. Rather, they should be encouraged to reveal more information so that people who have got real beneficiary are there, they are caught, and necessary tax can be taken from them. The next thing is, in respect of black money, that the fine which are penalty which was imposed on undisclosed foreign income or asset under the return, income tax return, is being capped to 10 lakhs only. Earlier it was quite high, can be quite high. So that people willingly declare their income and assets, and government gets tax on that. And black money generation on this count is reduced. Now, friend, coming to the taxation part, this budget has given some dynamism in the taxation system. The first and the foremost and the most important initiative is abolition of angle tax. Startups were bringing capital from outside, it was being taxed considering other income, which was totally, anti-development. I hope that income tax department will work sincerely on this and give benefit to the startups on this account. And do not try to create some, confusion or problems. Next very important innovation has been done in case of capital gain tax. First, I will discuss the short term. Short term capital gain, especially from share trading, etc., has been increased from 15 to 20%. There has been a lot of criticism on this, but I am in full support of this because I personally consider the share market to be an investment market. It should not be a speculative market. Bulls and bears should not be allowed to hijack the market so that common person suffers in that. I am a long-term investor. I try to stay longer in a company if it is sound company. I prefer a hybrid mutual fund than day-to-day trading. So, friend, I hope that this increase in the short-term capital gain tax is going to cool down the market and eliminate some part of the speculative component of the Sensex index today. Of course, there has been some correction in last few days after budget, but again the share market has bounced back. So I feel that this change is not bad so far our greed is concerned for becoming overnight rich by trading. And many people are attracted because of lure given by so-called traders who try to make you millionaire overnight. So please don't fall into their trap. This is a good decision of the government. The second very important thing is in the area of long-term capital gain. Now, different asset class had got different capital gain structure. For example, in share, etc., financial security, the long-term capital gain was 10%. But in other assets like real estate, gold, etc., it was 20%. So government has done some rationalization. It has reduced the long-term capital gain tax rate in case of real estate, gold, etc., from 20 to 12.5, and marginally increase the share, capital long-term capital gain in case of share, etc., 10 to 12.5%. Government is saying that it is not done to increase, earning of the government. It is just a rationalization so that there is a parity in long-term capital gain in various asset class. But I am seeing a positive impact of this, that speculative part of real estate market will also become somewhat less. And people will be able to get property, land, etc. in a reasonable cost. Because now people will focus on the consumption. That means they will buy house if they want to live. They don't buy 5, 6 item house only for renter, and thereby increase the prices. They do not corner land parcels and increase the prices. So friend, this changes in the taxation is really progressive and I support it. So far income tax is concerned, under the new tax scheme, the government has provided some relief, in case of standard deduction, 50,000, 25,000, and some, improvement in the slab, that is 3 to 6 has become 3 to 7, 6 to 10 has become 7 to 10, 5% and 10%. On the whole, you can get a rebate of 17,500. But of course, if your income is below 7,000, you have not to pay any tax because you are going to get rebate under 25A. So your net tax will be zero. So 7 lakh per year is a reasonable limit. Nobody should complain. Above that, you have got income, of course you have to pay marginally higher tax. So friend, these are certain important initiatives of this budget. So now I have discussed what are the finances of this budget, what are the 9 thrust areas in this budget, and what micro initiatives are there. Now I am going to migrate to the third part of this video, that what I think about this budget based on what challenges India is facing, or for that matter any other country is facing. Now friend, in the last part of this video, which is very significant, I am going to give my comment on this budget in the light of whatever challenges we are facing. We have seen that this budget has taken a lot of initiative for generating jobs. Now friend, I believe that NDA government, or for that matter BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party, has realized that there is a substance in the allegation of opposition parties that whatever growth is taking place, it is a jobless growth. And because of jobless growth, unemployment is becoming a problem and economic disparity is increasing. So this narrative has affected the government. Of course, Prime Minister or any other leader has not directly accepted it. But this budget gives a clear signal that they recognize this, they accept this as a reality. Therefore, they have taken a lot of initiative for supporting agriculture, organic farming, MSME, skill development, apprenticeship, RTI upgradation. All 9 thrust areas are focused on generating employment, developing skill, making people capable. But I have a serious problem. I have a fundamental question. Have government made any scheme to correct the root cause of all this problem? Friend, in India, there are thousands and thousands of schools which are single teacher school. If the teacher falls sick or have got some problem, the school will be closed. We are all aware that Indian education system was created by Lord Macaulay to generate slaves, people of slave mentality. They have no courage to question. They have no courage to ask questions. If a child goes to the school, which was very talkative before going to school, questioning, curious, becomes totally dumb after 3 to 4 years in schooling. Because schools are only bothered about earning money, so far private sector schools are concerned, or completing their syllabus somehow, in case of both private and public schools, government schools. They hardly generate curiosity, questioning mind, imaginative mind, innovative mind, growth mind. They hardly focus on that. Even otherwise, the quality is very bad. So, friend, if the base itself is wrong, if the base itself is weak, how you can create building on that? Therefore, unless we tackle the education system in a fundamental manner, all these cosmetic changes, all these education is not going to work. If a person is totally ignorant about certain thing, how much improvement he can achieve through internship or any other program? And friend, one thing, government should understand the psychology of entrepreneurship. The entrepreneur is a person who detects some opportunity of solving some type of problem of the customer and try to earn out of this. He is not going to create an enterprise just to give job. He will create enterprise if there is a problem, if there is a demand, and there is a willingness to pay on the cost of customer. So friend, he is not going to provide job to people because he is getting some incentive in form of first salary, some contribution in PF or something like that. It is a petty thing for him. His focus is on overall sales, marketing, demand, profitability of the business. And for that, he will only hire those people who are really capable and who are really required. So he is not going to work simply because government is giving some grant to him, some type of relief in him. Because that financial implication of that relief is insignificant if his business is not doing well. So government should focus on creating a robust, effective education system which creates character, which creates people with ideas. Their thinking is positive. They have a growth mindset, not fixed mindset. Entrepreneurial, risk taker, imaginative, innovators. Such people should be produced out of the education system. So unless we handle the education system fundamentally, all these schemes is not going to work. This is number one. The second thing, if 50% bottom population which is having very less income, if they are made capable through a very effective education system, the coaching infrastructure will collapse, which is only money making machine. And once these people become capable, really have a good mindset, good personality, good work ethics, they can generate income on their own, they can do their own job, they can create enterprises, they can become solo entrepreneur, they can get job, and if their income increases, government is going to get more taxes in direct or indirect fashion. So the economic growth will accelerate because of this intervention, this investment in case of education. Now friend, India is hardly investing 3% of GDP in education, whereas USA is spending 5%, Canada 5.5%. I urge to government of India to spend at least 4.5%. At least make the education budget 1.5 times than what it is today. So that you can provide adequate teachers, you can correct the teacher-student ratio, so that they can do real education can be given. Skill development can take place. So unless you correct this anomaly, you are not going to get full benefit out of this budget initiative. It is half-hearted. Second thing, your health. your health parameters are totally, bad. Public health system has collapsed, and private health service is unaffordable by people. So in my last video, which I brought before this budget, I said that your insurance cover per person should be at least 10 lakhs rupees, and it should be universal. And government should contribute some part of the premium, and some part should be given nominally by the people. For that, you require enhanced budget of Ministry of Health and Welfare, not only of center but the state, because it is a state subject. It is on the concurrent list. Now we are hardly, spending 3.2% of our GDP. USA is spending 16%. Other countries is spending 10%, 12%, something like that. So we have to spend more on health, make public health system very strong, or take care of health with insurance cover, etc., etc., in a meaningful manner. No questions should be asked in case of settlement of the claim. And there should be state disbursement. So this is number second. The third, the problem is abnormal delay in the justice. Court taking abnormally, long time because of procedural problems as well as shortage of judges and increasing day by day crimes. More than 4.4 crore cases are pending in court of law. If we want to clear all those cases, it will take 200 years. How we are going to become developed nation by 2047? And we are spending very paltry amount on justice system and law and order. We have to minimum make it double, provide proper policing, smart policing, take help of technology, increase judges, and correct the system of court procedure so that there is no date after date, no adjournment unnecessarily. Every court should be made. It should be made compulsory that they have to give judgment within 3 years. A person can appeal if he is not satisfied. Why you are bothered? You give your judgment. I am not telling you give a particular type of judgment. I am just telling you, please give judgment. You are independent. Give fair judgment. Let him go to appeal and the next court will see. So we have to increase our budget there. Next, I told you, I indicated that you are going for organic farming. So please reduce subsidy. Link both so that you can really make progress in this. You have to think of taxation reforms. You have to go for transaction tax because there are so many, black market operation in the business world, especially small units, shops, this and that. They hardly pay any tax. So we have to think of a system where they have to pay on every transaction, even in a small amount. And there is no need of any return, etc. Just pay tax and do the transaction. So we have to think very innovatively in case of taxes. Of course, you can go for corporate tax, is very clear, income tax is there. But so many people are out of tax net. Of course, after GST, everybody is paying some tax if it is having GST. And poor people are also paying. But we should think of transaction tax so that people who are not covered today are also covered, and tax base is more, it becomes wide. Now, friend, I discussed in the beginning of the video that how we can reduce revenue deficit of the budget. How we can make the whole budget smart. And I want to discuss two concepts with you, which is universal concept applicable to India and all other countries. The first concept is zero-based budget, and second is performance budget. Zero-based budget means every activity which you are funding through the budget should be reviewed critically from zero level, just to see whether that activity is still required. Today we are following historical budgeting system. Some allocation are there at 10% and they do the provision. And I am telling here, no ministry, no activity is sacrosanct, including defense. Every activity needs to be reviewed critically in respect of two things. Number one, whether it is still required. Yes or no. If no, just delete it. You will make so much saving. If it is required, then is it required to be done in a fashion it was done so far? Or new technology has come, new way has come. Modernize the way of doing it. Do business process re-engineering. Improve the working. The cost will reduce. If you do these things for every activity, I am sure that you will save not less than 10%. The total size of budget is 4.8. 48.20. 10% become 4.82. And deficit was 5.80. It is almost gone. Second thing, I told you productivity of capital is very less. After spending 200 lakhs crore, I am generating a GDP of 293 lakhs crore. So it is very pathetic condition. The productivity of capital is very low. So we should go for the performance budget. Whatever you spending you are doing, what is the outcome of that? Whether the outcome has improved, has the outcome come whatever you have planned. When I was posted in Gorakhpur as a financial advisor and chief account officer, Northeastern Railway, my general manager was telling me, if the signal cable are coming and they are, implied in the yard remodeling of Gorakhpur station, the detention to train start up signal will be reduced drastically. The signal cable came, it got invested, crores and crores rupees were invested in remodeling, but the detention time has increased per train. So what is the outcome? The money has gone somewhere. There was some problem, you have to analyze the problem. Why the outcome has come? There has to be synergetic investment. If you see the report of Ministry of Program Implementation Statistics, you will find serious level of time and cost overruns. And these two things vitiate the economics of the project, vitiate the productivity of the product, the quality of service, everything. So you have to put money in a proper activity at a proper time so that the activity gets completed well in time and it becomes productive and put to productive. Today, this tendency has somewhat reduced, but earlier it was very rampant that they were distributing the resources very thinly. No activity was able to complete because of inadequate funding. So you should give your money to last leg projects so that they are immediately completed and put to use. And you let us take less number of projects, but let them complete well in time rather than spreading thinly and undertaking thousand and thousand projects and no project being completed. So this wrong way of project management, wrong way of resource allocation creates wastage of money, and it deteriorates in form of productivity. Now, friend, I have already commented about the taxation, so I need not repeat it, but I only tell you that I am happy that the long-term capital gain has been rationalized in case of different asset class. It is going to cool down the speculative forces, make market more realistic, and people should be encouraged to become long-term investor than short-term speculators. And same thing has happened in the short-term capital gain also. It is going to reduce the level of speculation in property market as well as that. Indexation benefit has been withdrawn and a lot of criticism is there. I fully support it because if you invest in new house, you will not be subjected to capital gain. And if you are even subjected to capital gain, then of course the rate has been reduced drastically. So on the whole, you will not be losing so much. And if the property has been purchased before 2001, then this interest is available to you. So friend, income tax also I support because much cannot be given because government requires money for development. But I want to conclude that two group of people are really relevant so far the budget is concerned. First is bureaucracy. I have been a bureaucrat. I am part of that family. So I apologize to my senior engineers, but I want to say that they have to contribute a lot in this. There is a concept of agency cost. That means all your officers, etc., are agent of public. They are posted to further public goods, public interest. So if they want to promote their personal interest over public interest, if they indulge in corrupt practices, if they take wrong decision, if they favor contractor, if they don't know how to manage a public-private partnership project, how to balance the interests of private sector and public sector, so perhaps they are not contributing to their best. It is they who are going to implement zero-based review and performance budgeting. I have been teaching zero-based budget since 1997. This concept was introduced in 1984 and we are in 2024. But still it has not been implemented because of vested interest. Friend, 14% of the budget is going towards salary of bureaucracy. It is their job to contribute and optimize the use of finances. If they do that, I am sure that this budget will deliver, provided some sectorial allocations are improved, as I told you, law and order, health, education. If government does it and implements its initiative in a sincere manner, honest manner, I am sure that India is going to take right path to become a developed nation. But we have to see that India is a happy country. It should not be only a developed country, it should be a happy country. Friend, I want to conclude by telling that this budget is a good budget. If I want to rate this budget, I will award only 7 marks out of 10. Why I have not given the remaining 3? That depends upon the implementation and doing course correction as I have suggested in this video. Friend, thank you very much for listening me, given so much time. But before I part, I want to request you, please always see, listen, read good thing. So that good information enters you, you become better day by day, your personality become better day by day. And last but not least, health is wealth. Keep yourself mentally and physically fit by doing exercise, right diet, etc., etc., adopting a fit lifestyle, healthy lifestyle. Go on improving yourself. I believe that if the manpower of India, the youth of India improves their personality, they can do wonders. And country can grow very fast. And the quality of life will be much better. Friend, thank you very much for listening me. I am sure that you are going to share this video with your friends and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so far. And please press the bell button also so that you get notification of future video which I am going to bring. Friend, thank you very much for listening me.